So let me give you a bit of a shout out before we start. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the first one of 2021, which is great. Special guest tonight. He is a light heavyweight boxer from Docklands, BC in Dublin, 2 times national champion, Irish international, Emmet Brennan.
How's it going?
For you?
That's very good, yeah. I like that.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, yeah. Yeah, very good at the moment. I have COVID though, unfortunately.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I have it.
Bless you.
But no symptoms or anything, so not really caused me much damage. Apart from I had to train at home, that's the only consequence of it. But I'm feeling good, so it's not too bad.
So how did you find out?
If
you say you've got no symptoms, how did you find out?
I was supposed to go back training with the national team on Monday, and the protocol is we all have to get tested going back to camp. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I can still train at home, and I'm not really symptomatic, so I should be good to go in the next 2 weeks. I'm hoping.
Yeah. That's the kind of scariest thing, that a lot of people have no symptoms at all, and they're floating about because they think they can. Do you know what I mean?
The numbers in Ireland now are gone really high. I think it's like 7,000 today, and we have a small enough population, so it's just about being cautious about who you're around and literally isolating yourself. But yeah, just unfortunate, but as I said, I can still train from home.
Yeah. So firstly, I'd like to wish you a speedy recovery, because
I know
you want to get back to camp.
Yeah, that's the main thing. So I think I have to isolate for 10 days since yesterday. Yeah. So, well, not next Monday, Monday after, hopefully I'll be back with the national team. That's the plan anyway.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
So listen, we're in a lockdown here, sadly. I don't know what you guys are going through, because I'm trying to live in ignorant bliss.
Yeah, no.
So tell me about Ireland. What's going on?
Yeah, we're going into lockdown as well. So the only training that's allowed is for elite sports and professional sports. So lucky enough, we fall into that category. And just like everywhere else, there's just a lot of uncertainty what's going to happen next. But just the lads with the national team have done a fantastic job of us. They've sort of kept us away from all that. We stay in a bubble when we are training together, so we don't really know what's going on with the outside world, which is great for us. We're still getting our training in, which is brilliant.
So what happens? Do you go home at weekends, or do you literally just stay there all the time normally now?
No, we go home at weekends. So we're up Monday to Friday. We stay in the hotel. We're just in our bubble. So we go from the hotel to training, back to the hotel, back to training, back to the hotel, stay there for the night, and then just do that again every day up until Friday. But then when we go home, obviously we have to be cautious and just restrict our movements. It's strange times, and I suppose everyone's learning on the job. No one has had anything like this before, so yeah, everyone's still learning.
Well, not in our lifetime anyway.
No.
Yeah,
No.
So you had quite a difficult time with last lockdown as well, didn't you? Or should I say the first? Because I think we're now in number 3.
Yeah, we're in our third lockdown. So it's literally just the same thing. You come out of the lockdown, you go back to regular training. Well, again, it's still taking precautions because the disease is still there, obviously. And then this is third time around, so it's just trying to get a block of training together to get ready for the qualifiers in April. That's the main thing. And trying to stay COVID free, which unfortunately I didn't do.
I know. I mean, and that's with precautions.
Yeah, with precautions. It was just unfortunate, I suppose.
Yeah. So let's talk about last March. Oh,
yeah.
It feels so long ago.
Yeah, it does. Seems so
Oh my God.
Yeah,
should we just have a moment? Should we have a moment? That beautiful win. Oh, that beautiful win. Go on.
Yeah, it was against Bosnia, I think.
It was
a very, very, very good win, obviously, but you're gonna expect tougher fights down the road. Not take anything away from it. It's not like ideally, if you get a draw and you see Bosnia, you would be happy with that. So just keeping your feet on the ground and looking at your next opponent, which is Switzerland. So that's just my main focus now over the next, like, you look at the qualifiers on the 22nd of April, that's 3.5 months. It's literally, it's around the door, like it's around the corner.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
So let's talk about that. So what was his name? Radenko Tomic. So you stopped him in the second round, didn't you?
Stopped him in the second round, yeah. The fight went to plan. Obviously, we didn't plan to stop him, but the game plan went well. It was putting good pressure on, not making any stupid attacks. He was quite a negative fighter. He didn't really want to engage, and sometimes they can be the worst people to fight because you'll get frustrated. They're not there to win the fight. He was there just to basically survive. He was like 2 meters away from me every time, so it was just about not attacking from our distance because he was that far away. I was gonna fall short every time. So I think it was after the fourth. I think I fell short a few times in the fourth round. Then coaches talked me through the game plan for the second round. It was just about taking up the space before throwing me punches and me attacks. And it worked well. So yeah, I was happy enough with the fight. Just like we had a bit of momentum going into the next fight. It was obviously unfortunate that things got halted, but look, it's just the way it is. We're still here.
I'll be honest with you, I was quite surprised it went ahead. So I got my tickets, I was excited, of course, I wanted to be there. I was at the last, the 2012 Olympics, the buzz around that was amazing. But yeah, how has it been? So, you win your first fight, but then you've got basically the brakes put on, and you don't know at that time whether the Olympics is going to actually take place later in the year or 2021. And then you're also sitting on the fact that you haven't even, you haven't properly qualified yet. There's still more to go. How have you dealt with that?
Yeah, well, like I was so naive after that tournament. In my head, I was convinced that they were going to do the qualifiers again in 3 or 4 weeks. Like I was expecting a phone call to say, look, they're going ahead. So I stayed full-time training after that, albeit at home. And I was convinced, I don't know why, in my head I was convinced you're going to get a phone call, tournament's going to be back on in 2 weeks, stay in shape. Then obviously that wasn't how things worked out. So the good thing is the Olympics are still going ahead. That's the main thing. They could have been cancelled and the last 3-4 years would have been for nothing. So things are still how they stand last year, and it's just about keeping your head in the game. The time is going to pass either way. You can actually put it to good use. I can feel sorry for yourself. So been just putting it to good use and trying to stay positive. And we have such a good network with the Irish team, that they are keeping us on track every bit of the way. So I'm very, very grateful for that support network that we have.
I feel like the actual fitness side, I'm not trying to undo what you guys are doing, but I feel like the actual fitness side is the smallest part of this whole plan now for a lot of athletes, because it's the mind, isn't it? Trying to stay in, like you were saying, stay in the game. Yeah,
it's trying to stay focused. Look, if you're looking at it, it's 9 months, 10 months since we last fought. Like that's a long, long time. But a lot of other nations are in the same boat as us, and we can get that back through competitive sparring, training camps. So it is going to be obviously it's going to be different than a normal tournament, but you can just play that hand that you're dealt with, basically.
Good way of looking at it. So I read somewhere. Let me try and find that comment.
I don't know where this is going.
No. It's actually a compliment, I think. So after your performance in Ireland at the Olympic qualifiers, one of the somebody described you as the manliest man in Irish boxing, a hard fucker.
I'll take that as a compliment. Is it a compliment?
I think it is.
Yeah,
It did.
I'll take that as a compliment. So yeah, I'd say that
The
probably comes from me.
manliest man.
Yeah, I've never heard that before, but I'd probably take it from having an aggressive style. I'd
Yeah,
have like a
yeah.
pro like style. It'd be fan friendly. So I'm guessing that's where they probably came from. I
I
don't
guess
know.
so.
I don't
I
know.
think you need to put it on the back of your t-shirt.
Yeah, I was
Your
funny as
name
I
on the
said
front.
it. Yeah. No idea where it came from, but I'll take it.
No, it was good. It did make me laugh actually in a good
Mm.
way. So listen, talk to me about the age you were when you first picked up a pair of gloves and why, because I don't actually know that story.
Yeah, so I'm boxing since I'm 10. Um, I started off in St. Saviour's in Dublin. At the time, was a brilliant club. Had like had about 4 elite champions in 1 year. Dad in Sutherland that boxed the bronze medalist in the Olympics in 2008. He boxed for them, so they would have been my role models growing up. I suppose when I was younger, I got into boxing. Never had any aspirations of being a professional boxer. It was always amateur.
Mm,
And that was just from the likes of looking at that, and they were my role models. They were all amateur fighters. They were all trying to get the Olympics.
yeah.
So that's always been the dream for me. Um, I was boxing for St. Saviour's for about 10 years. Then I left, went to a different club, sort of broke away from boxing, sort of fell out of love. Lot of people do, early
Mm,
20s. Um, and then I came back boxing when I was 25. Probably stopped from about 23 to 25, and I boxed over in the Haringey Cup in London. So that
yeah.
would have been 2016. You're talking 4 years now. I won that, and then I was like, just having a chat with myself, where do I go with boxing? Do I go back? Do I try pursue the Olympic dream, or do I go professional, which
Mm.
was never really a huge goal. So I stuck with the amateur game and really, really changed my ways and sort of just built loads of small habits around training well, eating well, and it's all just stood well to me. So here I am, yeah, a few fights off the Olympics.
Do you know what's
Mm.
really funny? You're not the only person that I spoke to recently said that they had absolutely no aspirations to go into the professional scene.
Yeah, I was listening to
Do you,
a
what's it? Oh gosh, I've forgotten his name. That's really bad.
Keelan,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like the pro game in Ireland isn't a huge thing.
Mm,
It is progressively getting a little bit bigger, but the last 10, 20 years it hasn't been like, it hasn't been huge. You might have one or two really, really good stars, but
mm,
there's not really much people in behind them. Now it is getting bigger, um, but he's probably in the same mindset as me. He doesn't.
mm.
It never really was a huge thing for me. He comes from an amateur club. Like I suppose a lot of clubs in England as well are pro-am clubs. You don't really have that in Ireland. I don't think there's any at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it comes from. It's just not as big in Ireland. But as I said, there is getting bigger. In 10 years' time, things could be completely different.
It's true, you know.
Yeah.
So just trying to explain to people, I'm in the amateur game, so I get
Mm,
it. But try to explain to people because there will be people listening to this going,
yeah.
why?
Well,
Why would you rather be amateur? Granted, you're obviously getting a wage,
mm,
but versus the glamour and the fame of professional boxing. Please explain.
well, the Olympics is the pinnacle of sport. The
Amen.
pinnacle of sport. Every 4 years there's an Olympics. I think there might be 10,000 athletes. So you're talking probably 0.0001% of the world's population are Olympians. So you're going to be literally the elite of the elite.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's what drives me every morning, not being a world boxing champion in the professional game. It's being an Olympian.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, it's the pinnacle of the sport.
Yeah.
And then I suppose like boxing would be one of the big sports of the Olympics. You look at athletics and boxing, they're probably the two
Yeah.
biggest, and you could throw swimming in there where,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what drives me. And then there's a lot of other people that go down the other road. They want to be world champions and they want the glitz and glamour of pro boxing. But pro boxing isn't glitz and glamour. It's I always say amateur boxing is a sport, professional boxing is a game.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of you hear a lot of bad stuff happening to people.
Yes.
It's a business. It's a business.
It's a business, and I guess with all businesses there are good sides and bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things that come from professional boxing, and amateur boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually I like hearing. That sounds really bad, but I do like hearing that some individuals are just like, do you know what? It's all good. I'm not really that bothered about the pro game. I love the amateurs.
Yeah, like I do love the amateur game. You know, saying that I could go professional and have a few fights. I could, but it's not my main ambitions.
Yeah.
But I could go down that road in a year or so, or a year or two.
Yeah.
I'll make that decision when I come to it.
Yeah, when you've got that medal.
Yeah, as I said, the main thing is the Olympics. So if I'm thinking about professional boxing, that's just a distraction that I don't need.
Yeah. To be fair, that's a good way of looking at it.
And
what I have noticed is there are a lot of, you were saying about the professional scene in Ireland. It's not really a massive thing. I am seeing a lot of Irish boxers going abroad to fight. So whether that's here, whether that's America, or I was seeing O'Rourke's gym they've got a few kids going out to somewhere.
Yeah, there's no professional boxing happening in Ireland at the moment because of COVID. So I think he has all the lads just going. I think that Spain, and I think a few of them are fighting in Belgium. So it's
Belgium, that's it.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's just trying to keep his boxers active. There's no boxing happening here. I seen over in England they're all pulled till at least February. That'll probably go on further, I would imagine, with the cases.
I think
so you just have to go on the road.
Sorry, carry on, sorry.
Yeah, you just have to go on the road and keep busy. As I said, look at the hand that you're dealt and go with.
Yeah. Because my fear is a lot of people, I don't want to say it out loud, but I am going to say it out loud. Yeah. My fear is that we're going to lose a lot of people from the amateur scene.
Yeah, definitely. You will. And you'll probably lose a lot of younger kids that have just probably gotten lazy or probably lost a little bit of love for the sport through no fault of their own. The clubs aren't open. Well, it's not their fault, but we are in the middle of a pandemic, so it's sort of like, what do you do? There's arguments for both sides.
It's heartbreaking, actually.
Yeah, and it won't only be boxing that's affected. Sports all across the board are going to be affected. If you take kids away from, it's where kids grow, is in clubs and in sport. It's where they actually develop as people. They're around other kids and they're getting taught by people that aren't their parents. So they are taking answers and orders off other people that they wouldn't normally be around. So it is sad, but please God, by the end of the year, we're back to normal.
Please God. Please God. Listen, let's have a little bit of fun, because I bet everyone's at home feeling sorry for themselves. So, when you're at camp full time, and you guys obviously do things to entertain yourselves outside of boxing. So I'm going to ask you some questions.
You walk away.
You got to say the first thing that comes into your mind. You're not allowed to think about it, right?
Yeah, no problem.
So we'll have a
like a quick fire.
Yes, but we'll have one little test, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favourite colour?
Blue.
Okay. So you look ready. You don't look like you need testing. You don't need that.
No. It's ready.
All right, here we go. Okay. So thinking about Team Ireland.
Yeah, well, great.
Who's the most annoying? Who's got the most annoying habit?
Habit? Kurt Walker is a liar. Yeah, it's a bad habit. Yeah, you can't believe I trust the word out of his mouth.
Oh shit.
Very funny lad though.
But he's a liar.
More a wind-up merchant.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more wind-up.
Okay. Who's the biggest prankster?
I'd say Kurt or Wayne Kelly. Same. Just always on the wind-up. Can't believe them. Both great lads though, but yeah, they will be wind-up merchants.
Okay, what sort of things does he do?
Just like nothing like too out of the ordinary, but he might tell you, oh, the doctor wants you or something, then you go in, you knock on the doctor's door, he's asking you, what you asking me for? Just, yeah, nothing
Yeah.
too bad, but just silly things like that.
Yeah. Okay. So who's the best pads person?
On the Irish team,
Yeah, you're not allowed to think about it.
I was
Everyone
gonna,
always thinks, who's the
I was
best
gonna,
pads person?
I was gonna say my club coach.
On the Irish team then, go on.
Zara is quite good, head coach, very very good.
Tell you what, you're the first person that's actually called a name. Everyone else has like gone, no, I can't
Yeah.
say.
Well,
That's what I
Zara is
like.
probably technically the best coach in the world, so he sees things a lot of other coaches don't see.
Okay.
Mm.
Who's the most likely to whip their top off when there's cameras and media around?
I would say Krill, the heavyweight. Yeah, probably Krill.
Okay.
Yeah, Krill.
Who do you hate sparring the most and why?
Krill probably as well. I spar him, he's the heavyweight. He's quite rangy. Whereas I'd be a small 81, he's a huge 91. So yeah, it's tough getting under the jab sometimes if he has me at rounds. But we both have a bit of success. If I go in close, I'll have success. If it's long and I can't get in underneath his jab, he'll have a lot of success as well.
Okay. Who would you most like to be? If you could be any other boxer, who would you most likely like to be?
Probably Michael Nevin, middleweight. He
Okay.
is exceptionally talented, really, really talented. Just no matter what, if he's in good form, bad form, coming up to a tournament, he always switches around. He's he's really top class.
Nice.
He can he's quite rangy, but he can fight on the inside as well. He can fight on the inside.
All the barbers are shut at the moment. All the hairdressers are shut at the moment. Who's got the worst hairstyle?
Off the boxing team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say probably myself.
It's not looking too bad, actually.
Yeah, no, at the moment it's not too bad, but give it 2 weeks and it'll be it'll be all over the place.
Who would you say is the person that you kind of rely on the most there when you're down?
Yeah, there's a good group of us there, the likes of Wayne, Court, Kieran, Malloy. Yeah, we'd be a close enough group anyway. The good thing about the national team, this group of people, there's no bad eggs there at all.
Nice.
There's no, like, normally you would get someone in a team that you just don't like being around, or they bring the energy around. We literally, there's not one bad person on the team. So we're blessed in that way. That's gone through the whole background staff. Every single one was good to be around. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Good. That is actually good.
Just the last thing you want coming up to a tournament is someone bringing the group down, and we've never had that with this group of people. So yeah, we're blessed.
Do you reckon this whole sort of COVID situation has bonded you further? Because I know you guys spend Monday to Friday together, but do you honestly think that, I know everybody's going through stuff, but is there an extra little bond?
Yeah, well, I suppose like you have to put a little bit more trust in each other that you're not actually going to bring COVID into the group, or you're not going to break away from the group during training and potentially bring something back into that group. So there is probably a little bit more trust in each other as we're going through COVID.
Yeah, I didn't think of it like that, actually. Yeah.
And then, like, we're all getting each other ready for the biggest tournament of our life, so you're going to have to trust each other anyway.
What will happen if, obviously, you're going to go back in 10 days' time? What do you think will start to happen? Do you think that they will keep you guys completely away from everybody as the time gets closer? Almost like they do on the pro scene, keep everyone away in a bubble, in a hotel, away from their family and friends as you guys progress and get closer to the qualifiers?
Yeah, like I don't know exactly what the protocol is going to be, but I'm sure protection of the athletes and the coaching is going to be vital, because if you're sick, you won't be going to any qualifiers. So, yeah, I'd imagine we go into some sort of bubble, maybe 4 weeks to 5 weeks out from the competition. And then we're obviously going to have to travel to a camp somewhere or a tournament in between them. But I'd imagine it'll all be done in a bubble. It's the only way you can do it at the moment to ensure safety.
Yeah. And talking of that, sorry, go on.
Yeah, just the numbers are rampant everywhere, so you can't really break away. We just have to stay together as a team.
Yeah. I think that's actually just popped into my head. How is this going to work? You know, not just the qualifiers, but I'm guessing the whole Olympics is going to be a little bit like, you know, we talk about the way Matchroom did those things in the garden. It's got to be a little bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I was reading something the other day. You're only allowed fly into Japan, or maybe the Olympic Village 5 days before your event, and you have to be gone 2 days after the event. So there's no athletes straggling around after they're finished. It's literally in and out. Yeah. And I would imagine there's going to be no opening or closing ceremony along with that, which is terrible, because it's the part of the Olympics you want to be involved in that. But again, it's the hand you're dealt with. You just have to go with it.
Yeah. Do you know what? I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah, well, you can't really cramp 10,000 people in. Although we might be vaccinated, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, you know what? On a positive note, you guys are still going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a good thing.
Yeah. That's the way you got to kind of look at it, haven't you?
Yeah. Like, there's no point in feeling down or sorry for yourself. Like, the work still has to be done. Life goes on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So lastly, I know on Friday your national elites were supposed to be taking place. What's the word on that? Oh,
they're off, yeah. All boxing's going to be off for a while. Whether they reschedule them or not, I cannot see any boxing going ahead for a long time. Like, the cases are just rising and rising and rising. You can't mix people with each other. It's just not the time for it. So, I don't know when they'll go ahead. Yeah. My main focus is the qualifiers now. It's not the nationals.
Yeah.
Because I can't see them happening before March. The numbers are too high.
Yeah.
They're way too high.
Yeah, it's really sad, but you know what? We'll get through it. We have to believe we'll get through it.
Yeah, at the moment there's bigger things. I'm not talking about me, I'm just talking about worldwide. The main focus right now should be getting back to normal. And if that means postponing the championships and every other sport, so be it. By all means, just try to get back to normal. Yeah.
So please God, 10 days, just stay your ass at home.
Yeah, I've gone off the head already. I'm only one day in, but yeah, it's not easy. But look, I can still train because I've no symptoms, so I'll be doing a few workouts from the room.
Yeah, look after yourself.
Just
boxing and Netflix.
Yeah, but I have like about 2 square meters, so I'll be shadowboxing here tomorrow.
Hey, listen, I can just imagine you like in a little tiny space, but you gotta keep going, haven't you?
Yeah, I just have to, as I said, do what I can do. Yeah.
Oh, bless you. Listen, thank you so much for giving me the time. I'm wishing you all the best. I'm really, really hoping that you guys get to go, back into the bubble together, and just at least the Olympics go ahead. I know that sounds really
they will go ahead, yeah. They will go ahead.
Yeah. Wishing you all the best.
Great, thanks very much.
If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber of Shadowboxruk UK, we'd love to see you, so please go ahead and subscribe now.